something that I was really afraid to do. So I officially handed in my manuscript on November 20th. And about 2 weeks later, the senior editor, I can't say that word. And about 2 weeks later, the senior editor sent me the overall production schedule. Originally, my book was set to release in September, about 9 months out. I was a little bummed because my book takes place over the summertime, and I thought it would be cool to release it over the summer. But honestly, I'm just grateful that they're working on my book. So I was like, September is fine. That's fine. I didn't say anything. And then on December 16th, the official start date of when everyone was going to start working on my book, I received an email from the senior editor, and she said after talking with the production staff, they decided that it would be best to release my book in the summertime. I was so excited. I didn't say anything. I just put those little vibes out there. And then fear hit me because what was supposed to happen in 9 months was now needing to happen in 6. And the biggest, scariest thing on my to-do list. All of these books have something in common. Every single one of these books have the same thing on the cover: endorsements. And the company that I'm working with asked me to get the exact same things. Now, here's the problem. I was at a complete and total loss. I didn't know who to contact. I didn't know how to contact them. I flippin' hate cold emailing. And I definitely didn't know how to find the right people without spiraling. Okay, teeny tiny story time. I've admitted this before, but I mostly read older books, primarily from the 1960s through the 1990s. I don't read viral books, and I don't really know authors in the current writing community. It's terrible. I know. So I genuinely struggled with who to contact, but I'm working on it. Progress. But look, even this old book has endorsements on it. Ta-da! And I never really noticed the endorsements until I was asked to do them. Kind of funny how you don't really realize or notice these things until they're actually happening to you. It's like buying a Honda and then suddenly realizing there are so many Hondas everywhere. Don't know if that's a good analogy, but we're gonna go with it. So, I put on my big girl boots and I told myself to just shut up and do it. I watched several YouTube videos about endorsements. One creator even shared a great email script that you can customize, and I'll link the exact video down below. His name is McNulty, and that's where this whole journey really began. And I got an idea that was a little bit sticky and maybe would get me into just a little bit of hot water. I have my qualms about AI. I agree that it should never replace creativity, but sometimes it can be used as a tool, a springboard, if you will. And friends, I needed a springboard badly, so I gave it my genre and a 1-sentence summary of my book. Then I asked it to suggest about 15 authors within my genre: indie and traditionally published, big names and not so big names. And I'm not gonna lie, this was incredibly helpful. It gave me a list of authors that I had never heard of before. It explained their genres and how their work might align with my book. From there, I did the work. I took those names and I went onto their websites. Some clearly said on their contact page that they were not taking blurb or endorsement requests. Amazing. Love the clarity. I scratched them off my list. Then I realized something else. A lot of these authors, whether indie or traditionally published, they had agents, which meant I needed to go through their agent. So I wrote down the agent's name and their contact information. Then I spent the next few days actually getting to know these authors, their faces, their careers, their bodies of work, because I'm about to ask them a big favor and I want to be respectful. I even saved a few of their books and purchased a few of their books to read this year. After that, I tightened my list. Names, agents, emails, and then I wrote all my requests. I tailored every email to the agent using a loose form of the script that Brandon supplied, tweaking the script and making it my own. Stick around until the end of the video because I will share 2 exact emails that I sent out. I always appreciate when other creators do this, so I thought I would also pay it forward. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. We're gonna watch every minute of your video. That's so nice. But we're gonna watch you at 1.25 speed. Totally understand. And suddenly, there it was. I had 9 names, 9 emails, 9 rings of power, locked and loaded. Now, I had all of this ready before Christmas, which was surprising to me. But I decided to wait because no one wants endorsement emails buried under a bunch of holiday chaos and end of the year rushes. So I plan to send them out at the start of the new year. After Christmas, I kind of revised my list, removed a few names that I had second thoughts about, and added a few more. This time, I did the research myself. No ChatGPT. And I even found more authors and agents. And then I plugged those names into ChatGPT and asked it to rank who would most likely respond and who would absolutely not. Guys, this was so helpful. Oh my gosh, super helpful. Yes, you could make that 1 to 2% chance of getting, you know, a Colleen Hoover or a Sarah J. Maas. But I am on a deadline and I needed a higher likelihood of someone responding and someone responding with a yes. With my revised list of the 9 emails, I scheduled them out on Gmail because scheduling them is a lot less scary than just writing it and hitting the send button. Let me tell you. And guess what? I got my first rejection. I don't know why it makes me so happy. I didn't know what to expect from the responses, but it was so kind and polite and they wished me the best of luck, which was honestly so cool. Got my first rejection, kind of like a rite of passage. I replied with a short thank you because, you know, you want to have manners. So overall, ChatGPT was genuinely helpful in the research process of all of this. It saved me hours of stress spiraling. I discovered new authors and I added several new books to my reading list for the year. It's cold. Okay, so here are 2 endorsement emails that I sent. I'm not going to show you the title of my book quite yet, but you can read what it's about. Title reveal is coming in a future video, so stay tuned for that. As you can see, it says, "Hello, John. Hope you're doing well. I'm an independent author reaching out to ask whether or not such and such person might be open to considering a brief blurb for a feel-good coming-of-age novel. The story follows Charlotte, a teen searching for the father she's never known, believing he holds the key to her identity, until her journey forces her to redefine what family and belonging truly mean. The novel is character-driven, focusing on identity, belonging, and the ways family shapes and sometimes complicates self-discovery. I'm reaching out because these themes align with the kind of contemporary YA storytelling so-and-so is known for. I thought the book might be of interest. I completely understand how selective and time-limited blurb requests must be. If this sounds like a potential fit, be happy to send a brief synopsis and an advanced reader copy at your convenience. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Best regards, me." Okay, so here's my second example. I said, "Hello, so-and-so. I hope this email finds you well. I'm an independent author reaching out to ask whether or not this person might be open to considering a brief blurb for a coming-of-age contemporary YA novel." This one's a bit shorter. The novel centers on Charlotte, a teen searching for the father she's never known, believing he holds the key to her identity, until her journey forces her to redefine what family and belonging truly mean. The story is character-driven, focusing on identity, belonging, and self-discovery. I completely understand how selective and time-limited endorsement requests can be. If this sounds like a potential fit for so-and-so, I'd be happy to share a short synopsis and an advanced reader copy at your convenience. Thank you for your time and consideration." Okay. There's a dog barking. Each email is tailored. Not widely different, but different enough. Was it too much work? I don't know. But it made me feel better, especially since I sent out 2 requests to authors who had the same agent. And I wanted to make very, very sure that it did not look like I just copy and pasted the same exact email. And now this brings us to the present. At this moment of filming this video, I have sent out 12 endorsement requests. I have received 5 responses, all rejections, but I have 1 agent asking for a short synopsis of my book and any endorsement deadlines. I still don't know if they are a confirmed yes, but hey, this is the first maybe that I got. And surprisingly, I was not going to send out an endorsement to this particular author, but hey, you never know. So you should just send them out. It wasn't because she didn't align with my story. I just wasn't sure if I should send out this one or not. But I'm like, you know what? Just do it. And I was like, whatever, just do it. And lo and behold, I have a maybe. This is a huge win. Yay. So in my research, a standard short synopsis is about 500 words. You need to include the beginning, the middle, the end. What the heck was that? That was not a bark. That was like a bloody murder. You need to include plot twists, spoilers, character arcs, the whole thing. This took me a couple hours to do, and then I sent it off to my parents for clarity, because you always need someone else to look at your... It's always good to have someone else look at your work. Now, I have not sent off this response yet because I received the notification on a Friday. I'm filming this on Saturday. I will send it out on a Monday. Here's the email that I'm going to send. It's all prepped and ready. I just haven't sent it out yet. And at this stage, you do not send your manuscript, only the short synopsis and what the agent has requested. I will continue to send out endorsements to heighten the odds of getting a response. I'm probably gonna spend the rest of January doing that, and maybe a little bit in February as well. It's gotten easier to send them out. I sent, I think, 4 emails in one afternoon, and that includes, I think, like 2 from my actual list of 9 and 2 new endorsements that I found, or 2 new authors that I had found. It's not really a fear anymore, so that's good. I just feel super productive sending them all out. And now we wait, we hope, we drink tea, and we stress a little, because deadlines. Yeesh. I got a halo behind me. I hope it's not distracting. So, yes, you can make a case for that 1 to 2% for the